Welcome to the Twisted Tentacle Inn. I am your innkeeper, and today we'll be discussing the Vatican Vacation. The Vatican Vacation was a game of Arkham Horror LCG that I played with JP from Norther Lights Over Arkham. We played as Father Mateo and Sister Mary, and I wanted to give a few of my thoughts on the decks, how they synergized, the Bless and Curse token mechanic, and what I would do different if I were to play that game again. Let's go over the decks. JP made a Sister Mary deck that revolved around the 35 Winchester. I won't be going into detail about every card in the deck for the sake of time, but since this is an integral part of the deck, I'll go over this one particular card. If you're not familiar with any of the other cards in the deck, I've linked the deck in the video description so that you can look into them on your own. The 35 Winchester is a level 0 Guardian asset. It costs 4 resources and has an agility icon. It also has the item, weapon, and firearm traits. It has text that reads, Action, Fight. You get +2 for this attack. If a +1, 0, or Elder Sign Chaos token is revealed during this attack deals +2 damage. This card is on the mutated list, and JP used the mutated version for this game. The card's ability now reads, Spend 1 ammo, Fight. You get +2 for this attack. If a Chaos token with a non-negative modifier is revealed during this attack deals +2 damage. The deck uses Sister Mary's ability to add Bless tokens to its full potential. Since the Bless tokens are also considered tokens without a negative modifier, drawing one regardless of what else you draw will trigger the extra damage from the Winchester. You can fill the bag up with up to 10 Bless tokens, making it very likely to trigger this effect. To further boost his odds, JP selected Olive McBride as his ally so that he could pull more tokens. And the Sacred Covenant allows him to keep the Bless tokens in the bag if he draws one. The rest of the deck focuses on boosting damage and protection, especially with cards like Enchanted Armor.
Okay, so Enchanted Armor, I also can play it on your Investigator.
That's pretty good too.
And when you're taking damage or horror, I'll test the willpower to see if the armor stays intact. So maybe I'll just keep both of these. But this takes up the body and arcane slot. So is it okay for you to have only one?
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine, at least for now.
For
my Father Mateo deck, I went with a pretty basic support and investigation build. I picked up a few cards to add Bless tokens like Keep Faith and the Ancient Covenant, which basically can make any test in which you pull a Bless token automatically succeed. I also added Blood Pact in case I needed a boost in a pinch. The two decks synergize very well. I think Father Mateo and Sister Mary definitely work well together by design. Between the Bless token synergy and the card pool, between the two of them, they can pull off some amazing feats. In retrospect, I think we built the decks out to be a bit too specialized. These two decks would probably work even better in a 3 or 4 player game, assuming other players are also adding Bless tokens into the bag. The beginning of the scenario had Sister Mary sitting around with not much to do because there were no enemies on the board, and Father Mateo had too many cards that nabbed extra clues, which for this scenario turned out to be completely unnecessary. Once enemies hit the board though, the Sister Mary deck showed off its muscles, and honestly it really impressed me. JP has really worked up an awesome concept for a deck here, and if it wasn't for my lack of combat cards in my Father Mateo deck, this scenario probably would have been a cakewalk. The Winchester combo worked beyond how I expected it to, and I had custom ammunition in my Father Mateo deck, which made the weapon even better against monster enemies. There weren't too many monster enemies for us to show off how much better this would make the gun, but I think in a scenario with a lot of monster creatures, this would really shine, this combination. I also thought the Enchanted Armor did a ton of work here. It helped tank so much damage and horror, especially for this scenario that likes to deal out damage for free like it's candy on Halloween. I think without Enchanted Armor, we probably would have been dead halfway through this scenario, to be honest. For the Mateo deck, I wish I had packed more combat cards and really turned down the clue gathering. I hadn't played this scenario in so long, honestly I'd forgotten how unimportant it was to get a ton of clues here. As far as Bless and Curse tokens, I've completely changed my mind on them now that I've had a chance to play with them a lot more. The adding token situation didn't add too much to our playtime. Now we were playing digitally, so I can totally see that if you were playing in person, this could still be an issue if everyone is using their own chaos bag. So if you plan on playing with a lot of Bless or Curse tokens, I recommend just using one chaos bag for the whole table, just to speed things up a little bit. I think Bless definitely has a place in a lot more decks than I initially gave it credit for. I used to think it wouldn't impact tests that much, but I think Bless is definitely a boost, especially with the addition of the Covenants. There were several tests that honestly we wouldn't have passed without the help of the Bless tokens. My thoughts on it used to be, well, generally you're going to be 2 up above the test anyway, so an additional +2 really isn't going to help you. But the fact is that it's nearly impossible to always be 2 up above the test. And this is where the Bless tokens come in. But honestly, that's really just gravy. The true benefits of Bless are somewhat hidden in a number of cards that use Bless tokens as a sort of currency. I plan on discussing Bless and Curse further in a video coming out very soon, so definitely look out for that. So what worked well for us? Well, for Sister Mary, I'd say that her Winchester strategy was a big win. An awesome and fun combo that just kept on delivering throughout the entire scenario, especially a scenario like this one with a ton of creatures, especially health heavy and heavy damage dealing creatures. I also think the enchanted armor was a big win. For Mateo, I think the skill cards I chose were perfect. I also think that the Scroll of Prophecies was a great support option to keep our hands full. The card that shined brightest was Blood Pact in the Mateo deck though, and it came in clutch in several big pulls. And of course, Seal of the Elder Sign was integral to a major play in the game. For both Mateo and Mary, the Covenants did a ton of work, and I think that they're almost mandatory if you're going to be going all in on Bless. So what would I do different if we were to do the same scenario again? First off, I'd give Mateo more combat prowess and get rid of so many cards that pull extra clues. This scenario makes it completely unnecessary to pick up so many clues, and the shroud of so many locations is low enough that with a generic skill card you can realistically nab the ones that you need. I'd also give Mateo more healing and protection. I had a copy of Hollowed Mirror in the deck, but it came in so late in the game that it only really helped a little bit, but it did help. Anyway, overall I think the Sister Mary deck was a real winner, and I'd love to try this again with a better tuned Mateo deck. The game was very fun and action-packed, so if you want to see how it all played out, go to Northern Lights Over Arkham's YouTube channel, since he posted the game in its entirety on that channel. And of course, I'll link the game in the video description. So, have you played a Sister Mary and Father Mateo combo duo? If so, how did it go for you? Let me know in the comments, and if you have a deck list, I'd love to see it as well. And I do hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please click the like button or subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments down below. As always, I am your innkeeper, and this is the Twisted Tentacle Inn. Check in anytime. I'll talk with you then.
Yeah, so first action I'll shoot. So you
Seal the Elder Sign, and it's removed from the game.
So I reveal blessed the Elder Sign token, right?
Yep.
Second action I'll shoot again.
Seal the Elder Sign.
Okay, so I'll deal 3 damage. Last action I'll use Olive. So I reveal 3 tokens and cancel 1.
Oh God.
So I'll cancel
nasty.
the -4.
Yeah.
That's 3. So we hit a curse, but we get another token, which is a blessed token and
Yes.
a blessed token.
And I use my covenant for that second one.
Covenant. Yeah. So we hit. I'll deal 3 more damage.
Yes. Hell yeah. Okay, let's punch this guy. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to put a doom on this. So I'll put a doom on Blood Pact, and I will Unexpected Courage. So here we go. Oh, just what
Nice.
we needed. I'm glad you helped me with that. I'm glad you helped me with that.
So
Damn.